I know it has been a while, but I wanted to give you guys another deck video. This is the Heavenly Bodies Astrology deck and guidebook by Lily Ashwell. What I really liked about it is here in the middle on the back, it mentioned laying the cards out as a spread for your birth chart. But I'll show you the sides of the box real quick, since you've already seen the front and back. That has some angel wings on it, and the bottom has a feather and some art texture. And the way it's boxed is a sleeve that there will be plastic around it when you buy it. You take the plastic off and there's just this paper sleeve that slides sideways off. And so what you're left with is the actual box, which is magnetic on the side. I like the magnet boxes. And then you open it, it's got some text. Let me show you everything. Heaven is under our feet as well as over our heads. Henry David Thoreau, 1845. That's the quote there. So that opens up. Then you've got ribbons for the book and the cards. Oh, sorry. There it is. That's the ribbon for the book and the cards. This is just the ribbon coming out of the book. But the book is a hardback, which is nice. I really like that. You can see the size is good. There's some quotes in here. I'm not going to read all of them because there's probably a bunch, but I'll keep it so you can freeze frame it if you want to read it. You know, it's going to tell you how to use the deck as sort of an oracle deck. It looks like it goes over all the planetary stuff, the signs, houses, even cardinal fixed mutable positions in elements, earth, water, fire, air. So yeah, it's got all the common things that you would want for astrology related stuff. So I really like that. This is the intro. Oh look, see, it's full color too. I really like when they do full color. So I like that aspect. My cat is joining us. But I do like when a book is that nice. So the beginning of the book is telling you how to understand astrology and all the basics. Most of us, if you're already into this stuff, you're already going to know that, but it's really nice that they have it and it's full color too. So it's got really nice examples of how houses work and everything. So that's awesome. But yeah, I'll show you the deck now. So you can see as I pull this ribbon up, the deck actually has its own box too. So there's the backing behind it. But the deck, you can keep it separate in its own little secure box. It's got this pretty greenish yellow sun or moon on the cover. The back has a quote. So there's the quote if you want to freeze frame it. Well, my cat's not in the way, so you can read it. But I'll move this over. All right, brought you in a little closer so we can see the details better. The cover slides off pretty easy. You can see there's another quote in there by William Blake. And I'll probably move that out of the way so we can look at the cards once we get them out. There's a ribbon also inside the box. I love all these ribbons. It makes it easy to get stuff out. So when you first get the cards, they've got a band around them. It's just paper. We can take that off. Here's the quote in the box. It says, heaven through earth and spirit through body. I like these kind of pastel tones. They're kind of washed out pastel, like pink and seafoam and other colors. It's really pretty. I may have to tear it. Yeah, it's just paper. I'll tear it. It's okay. So there's the back. It's a nice light color. These are all kind of like a watercolor theme, I believe. So we're starting with the sun, self-express and embody truth. The moon, satisfy emotional needs, nurture self and others. I like the kind of dark, washed out look to that. It's interesting. Mercury, think, learn, network, and communicate. And they all have the symbols in the top right, the planetary symbol. Venus, give and receive love, find value, and see beauty. I'm gonna lock in on this so just in case it wasn't focused. There we go. I like the colors on this one too. Mars, move forward and defend self. So it's got that defensive war Mars energy. It doesn't look that aggressive if you think about it. I mean, there's a sword, but It's like light pastel colors. Saturn, feel restricted, experience struggle, learn hard. Oh, learn hard work and patience. Yeah, Saturn can be brutal sometimes if you're not ready for that. Here's Jupiter, grow and expand. Uranus, radically change. Some people say Uranus because they don't want to say Uranus. I just say it the way I've always said it. I don't care. Neptune, dream and transcend. I like that kind of dreamy, washed out energy of the card. Pluto, transform. A little bit of death. Scorpio, dark energy. Chiron, hurt and heal. Pretty card. There's Aries, independence, bravery, and passion. I love the pinks, and the ram skull looks cool. It's also got the flaming heart symbol. Taurus, trust, patience, and sensuality. Another pretty card. Gemini, curiosity, intellect, and networking. It's funny that there's butterflies on there because they're like social butterflies. Maybe it's a joke by the author. Cancer, that's me, that's my son. Nurture, comfort, and protection. Lots of sea energy, seashells, and water, and a moon. Definitely Cancer. Leo. Another flaming heart and some fire. Self-confidence, loyalty, and creativity. Next we have Virgo. Integrity, reverence, and service. Libra. Consideration, fairness, and harmony. I don't know if it picks up on the camera, but this one has a nice, very faint baby blue tone. It's almost white, it's so light. And there's also grays, but kind of grays and baby blue, it's pretty. Scorpio, intensity, exposing, purging, and renewing. It's got a snake and a skull. Sagittarius, optimism, exploration, and freedom. I like that bow. My rising sign is Sagittarius. Capricorn, ambition, realism, and methodical steps. Oops. Aquarius, originality, philanthropy, and progressive imaginings. It's a really pretty one. It's got that seafoam green, very faint color. Pisces, intimacy, intuition, and compassion. Another pretty card. Whoop. Okay, now we're in the houses. Uh-oh, my cat's back. I may have to pause so I can get him off the table. Let's see, he may lay down. Buddy, lay down. Lay down. Lay down. You're in the way. Move. Stay away from here. Back up. Move. Get down. Okay, lay down. It's fine. Yes. Lay down. Jeez, cat. Sometimes you drive me crazy. Okay, well, my cat seems to be behaving. He's up here with us, so we'll see what happens. Alright, so we were on house 1. Individuality, self-image, and All right, so we were on the houses, and we're on house 1, individuality, self-image, and approach to life. Now, I like that they have the houses because I always forget what their meanings are, and they're important for your chart, so that's nice. It's interesting that there's a bird coming out of an egg. House 2, physical security, possessions, material values, and self-worth. Pretty card. House 3. Oh, they're all birds, aren't they? Yeah, okay, they're all bird related or themed. That's an interesting take on it. So house 3 is early learning, childhood relations, the rational mind, and communication. This has some pretty green and yellow tones for the background, and the birds are actually like a light red brown kind of rust color. It's not quite picking up on the camera because it's so bright, but in real life there's a little more color. Very pretty. I like that one. House 4, cultural and family roots, home, peace, and comfort. Whoops, sorry, I was off center there. I'm trying to look at 2 places at once, so it's kind of hard. But yeah, the coloring on this one's got a lot of variety on the leaves, and it's nice. It looks good. House 5, passion, play, children, confidence, and creativity. The bird is singing happily. House 6, establishing a foundation, health, daily life, and practical details. It's like a skeleton bird wing. House 7, profound relationships, intimacy, and romantic partnerships. I need to check out what all is in my 7th house, or if I have anything. I want a profound relationship. It's a pretty card. House 8, transformation, karma, facing fears, and legacies. This one's almost foreboding because of that dead bird. But it's got beautiful colors. Even the banner for the text, I like how it's like a bright pink or red, or it's like a rose color. House 9, spiritual growth. I should check out 8 and 9 on mine. I'm very curious. 7, 8, and 9. House 10, structure, discipline, life mission, accomplishments, and career. House 11, friends, like-minded groups, and humanitarian beliefs. Some colorful birds on this one. House 12, spirituality, transcendence, karma, sacrificial service, and healing. Another one I would love to double check what my chart has in. I haven't looked at my chart in a while. Okay, now we're on some of the alignments. I forget what these are actually called, but conjunction is one of them. They're like the ways that your signs and planets can line up. A union, merging, and coming together. Then you have an opposition, when 2 signs are across from each other, I believe. Imbalance, a point of tension, and a power struggle. Very pretty colors on this one. A trine, which is when there's like a triangular shape between signs. Angelic, support, harmony, and perfect flow. They say 120 degrees is like an example of a trine, I guess. Square, when they're 90 degrees. A challenging situation and a mountain to climb. So squares are challenges. I believe I have some squares in my chart, signs that are square. sextile, 60 degrees, combination of tension and flow, potential and a rewarding situation. I like the colors on this one too. Now we're in elements. So we're on earth, which is persistence, patience, and practicality. It's got the earth signs on there. Some rich, deep colors. Now we're on air, open-mindedness, objectivity, and learning. It's got mountains and clouds. It's pretty. Fire, confidence, optimism, passion, and bravery. Got that heart, flaming heart again. Water, spirituality, emotion, intuition, and compassion. I really like the coloring on this one and just the way it's all reflected on the water. It's kind of interesting because it's like it's reflected on the water up top, but then there's another reflection here. It's like two reflections or two worlds. Maybe it's referring to the emotional world below the real world or something. Now this is yin, and I guess we're gonna have yang after this, but it's got all the signs that are represented by yin energy, which is stands for intuition, trust, patience, spirituality, and receptivity. I think that's feminine energy, and it's lunar in nature, the way this is referring to it. And yang, which has proactivity, expression, doing, and forward motion. So it's more forward and aggressive, like masculine energy. And then we've got cardinal signs, which Cancer, my sun sign, is a cardinal sign. And they are representing instigation, bravery, and a pioneering spirit. There's 4 cardinal signs. Then we have the fixed signs, which has 4 fixed signs. Stability, persistence, loyalty, and dependability are what the fixed signs represent. And then you've got the mutable signs. Surrender, fluidity, and welcoming change. And the last 2 cards are the North Node and the South Node. So here's North Node. It's got this pretty dragon type creature floating up over the mountain or the landscape. And it says destined to have. So your North Node is sort of linked to your destiny. I forget what South Node. Oh, okay. North Node is what you're destined to have. South Node is what you're destined to release. And if you look at it, the dragon's sort of leaving in the second card, the South card. So I really like how they paired them that way. But yeah, North Node is sort of what you should focus on in this life. And whatever's in your South Node, or what it's in, would be what you need to release in this life. Something karmic or old problem areas that you have. I forget where mine are. I believe my North Node has something about community, which is one of my greatest struggles, is social situations. So yeah, everyone's will be different, but that's where mine is. But yeah, that's it. It's a very pretty deck. The most interesting thing about it to me is using it to visually lay out your birth chart. So I may do that off camera and then come back to show you guys what mine would, just as an example, what one looks like. But yeah, overall, I really like this deck, especially if you need astrology cards for your readings. To kind of, a lot of the time when you're doing a reading, it helps to have those because it gives you a hint at a person or area you need to work on. But yeah, this is the box again. It's very pretty on the back. It's a little close because I zoomed moved the camera in. And real quick, I'll show you the book one more time. But yeah, the deck is called Heavenly Bodies Astrology Deck by Lily Ashwell. But yeah, very pretty deck. I will try to lay out my birth chart and come back, so I'll be right back. So I looked through the book, and they actually don't have anything that tells you how to lay them out. Like, in other words, there's not a special chart or layout like spread to do your birth chart, but what they mention is using your birth chart, which I used her website to get all my info, but you have to lay it out yourself, and the book doesn't really tell you how you would do that other than a brief mention of doing one line of cards for, like, your sun is in my case, my sun is in Cancer in the 8th house, so I'll show you what that would look like. So the way they explain it is my sun is in Cancer in the 8th house. These are, I'll use these in a minute, but let me get those on screen for you. So the way you would interpret that is it literally says it. So what that placement means is that I self-express and embody the truth by nurturing, comforting, and protecting. And I think the way you would read it is that like transformation, karma, facing fears, and legacies related to those are important. So to decode, yeah, that's what we want. So if you're just using her example, her sun is in Aries and also in the 8th house. Starting with, she just says, with my sun in Aries, I self-express and embody the truth through independence, bravery, and passion. Now, she didn't go into the house part of that, though. And the next page is about decoding the full moon. So I kind of wish they went into more depth on how you would do this. But the cards are kind of self-explanatory in a way. But you can see her chart right here. I'm using her website, which has both that circular hand-drawn looking chart and this text. I'm using the text because it's easier to quickly look at it while I'm on camera. But yeah, so you kind of, the house that your sign and planet are in is sort of the effect on your life. It's usually like a larger theme than just your sign itself and what planet is in it. But yeah, so in my case, I self-express and embody the truth through nurturing, comforting, and protecting. And transformation, karma, facing fears, and legacies is sort of the overall category these are important in for me. But you would have, in some cases, you have more than one thing in a house because the houses are like sections of the chart, that circular chart that we saw. Like, I'll show you mine real quick. Almost all of my chart, if it's showing up good, it's all up on the upper half. I don't have a lot down here in the bottom. And a lot of my stuff is in like house 11, house 8 has a lot, 10 has a couple, and 6 and 1 has a lot also. So those are the most, it's really only those houses I just mentioned, those 5 houses are the most important for me. All the others are basically empty on my chart, which is kind of interesting. Most people, like, her birth chart was bouncing all around in a pretty even way. So it really varies by person on that. But it's fun to see where your placements are and learn the meanings. Let me see if I have other house 8. Okay, here we go. So my Mercury and Venus are also in Cancer in house 8. So we already did Sun. So let's see what my Mercury would be read as. I think, learn, network, and communicate by nurturing, comforting, and protecting. And then you would apply the 8th house meaning to that as a whole. And then same thing for Venus. If we go down here, you read the planet first, then the sign. So the way you would read this is, I give and receive love, I find value and see beauty by nurturing, comforting, and protecting, and then apply the house again. So you always read the planet first, then the sign, and then the house that they're in. In my case, I don't have any other ones in the 8th house, so all of this would kind of be one part of the birth chart, and then you would go on to the next. which for me is my moon in Libra in house 10. And you would do this for your whole chart. It'll take too long to do the entire thing on camera, but just for fun, I'll do one more. Do I have anything else with Libra? I do. Pluto is in Libra, but it's in house 11. That's interesting. So I guess I would do it like this. There we go. So in the case of different houses and planets linking to the same sign, you could lay it out like this with Libra. So it would be Moon in Libra in house 10 and Pluto in Libra in house 11, since they're all linked to Libra. But the way you would read these is my Moon in Libra in house 10 means I satisfy emotional needs, nurture myself and others using consideration, fairness, and harmony. And all of that is sort of overseen by structured discipline, life mission, and accomplishments in career. Let me think about that. So I satisfy my emotional needs and nurture myself by considering fairness and harmony in relation to structure, discipline, life mission, career accomplishments. So the way it sounds is like there needs to be an element of emotionally nurturing others and bringing harmony to like the workplace, maybe. It's kind of weird. It kind of sounds like my emotional needs would be linked to work, so I need to find a job where I can kind of bring in that emotional harmony and nurturing, which is hard because most jobs are very cold and they're not really conducive to having emotions, I'll say that. So then if we move on, we're kind of done with those. My Pluto is in Libra in the 11th house, and what that means is I transform by using consideration, fairness, and harmony in relation to friends, like-minded groups, and humanitarian beliefs. That one fits a lot more fluidly. It makes more sense, but that's because it just does. So yeah, I can bring a lot of transformation into my life using that Libra balancing energy. There's my cat again. Don't you love how he just jumps in the middle of my recordings? And he's gonna lay down. Yep. I knew he would. Whenever you have cards on a surface, the cats, they love to lay on them for some reason. Oh, now he got up. But yeah, what you would do though is do that for your entire chart. So we just went through about 3 different parts of the chart. We did Sun, Moon, and Pluto, because my Pluto is also in Libra. But you have your entire chart, which is all the planets and your north and south node, your ascendant and your midheaven, which are also on the birth chart that you get. Some cards reuse certain other cards. Like you can have multiple signs in one house or multiple planets in one sign. So, you would probably end up using almost all the cards. That's what I'm trying to say. So, and it would take a while to lay them all out, but it does give you more understanding of your birth chart in a visual way. So yeah, I did want to do that at the end of the video just to show you guys how you could potentially do it. But otherwise, I like the deck. I like the meanings, and the art is really pretty. If you're into astrology and tarot or oracle decks, then it makes sense that you would like this deck. But yeah, so I give it a pretty good review, a positive review. Otherwise, I will be making more videos. I'm still working on getting around to finishing the inner child work related videos. They're really simple, but I just have been trying to focus on surviving ever since I lost my job, so I haven't had time. But that'll be the next video, so look forward to that. And for now, I will see you guys later. Hey guys, if you like the song in the video, you can check it out because it's a new music project I have called DREAMWOLF. The link to my bandcamp is in the video description. Thanks for watching.